Torp here. A lot of discussion going on back and forth about DoorDash don't give a fuck about their drivers. I am not an advocate of spreading shit around because somebody else says it, somebody else believes it, or somebody else gave me shit for saying something. I don't change my direction on what I think or what I see or what I fucking experience. That ain't me. You guys know this. I just smoke my fucking cigarettes, drink my fucking beer, get my fucking hangovers, and go out there on the road and wake up an hour later and hope to God I drop it off to the wrong fucking address. Right address. You know what I meant. Right address. Hope to God I didn't drop it off to the wrong address. Man, discombobulation ain't no joke, is it, guys? That shit will fuck you up. I have, you know those screenshots that we take? We do our phones when we look at the directions and we see leave it door, the address, and special instructions, which almost never fucking makes sense half the time. All that shit blended in a blender gives you a fucking migraine of mental diarrhea, doesn't it? It's like, I gotta keep up with bad directions, bad instructions, in-app navigation failures. I had one today to blow your mind. I may or not remember to tell you about that here in a minute. We gotta go through all that shit and expect our ratings to reflect it. Our customer ratings to reflect that. God forbid being on time. When the in-app navigation sends you to the wrong place, you say, how the fuck am I going to prove this? What do I got to do? Contest this with DoorDash support? DoorDash support doesn't know nothing about the algorithm. They don't know nothing about the code. They don't know nothing about nothing. All they can do is get you out of a hot pickle when you fucking jacked up. You go to a restaurant, the order's not there, you know some other motherfucker got all jacked up and said, fuck this, I'm not doing DoorDash anymore. He picks the order up, eats it, and he just unassigns it. So DoorDash thinks it's still there. And there you go to pick it up, probably working on your ratings or maybe just making some money, and boom, you're jacked up. Next 15, 20 minutes gone. And God forbid that was a 325, right? Yeah, do you feel me? So as you pass gas in your head, and that fart becomes a word in your mouth, and that is, God damn it, son of a bitch, what the fuck, if anything, is going on? Why won't they fix this shit? I'm a driver. Last time I checked, you could have 1 million goddamn customers. Oh, and they do. You could have 1 million goddamn customers, and you could have all the shareholders on the fucking planet line up and say, I got $100,000 banking on Tony to get this shit right. And as soon as it gets right, I'm paid. That's how we feel, isn't it? That's exactly how we feel. If DoorDash gets this shit right, I'm getting tip, I'm getting base, and I'm driving short, or even long sometimes if it's big tip. And I'm like, yeah! That just happened. That's what we all looking for, right? We're looking for Tony to figure that out. I say Tony because I don't know anybody else that works there. The only one that we actually do know about, really sort of kind of, is Tony, because he's like the spokesperson for his own company sort of at this point. Except for his drivers. I think we got left out of that equation. Maybe I know there's that one that interviews Tony and shit. Now, I get that. I don't even know his name. It's really not a point to me. I don't give a fuck. You know, anybody that gets paid to do a video, anybody that gets paid to do anything, you gotta check their motives, man. I've been saying that, bras and sisters. You got to check the motives when they're getting paid. I ain't saying they're all wrong. Just check the motives. You'll feel it out, you'll figure it out, and then you'll know. You ain't stupid. If you was stupid, you wouldn't be watching me. Aha! So, I noticed something that just started taking place. And it's my ratings. They keep changing on me. They yo-yo on crack cocaine. They're going up and down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why is it? Because I remember that, man. It wasn't even just last summer. They would stay. Just like the fucking on-time stays. Mine's been 95 for over 2 years. And I know the fuck that ain't right, because I'm on time every time. I'm always on time. Sometimes I'm early. But that motherfucker, they're going to get rid of that. I think that's got something to do with the fact of getting ready to move on to the 3-tier. Derail. But that's what that's got something to do with. Are the ratings the way that we know them without being on the 3-tier program? I think that is something that is about to flip. Everybody on YouTube talking about, we just all ain't got it yet. I think we're all about to find out. I think it's going to come this fall, y'all. I think we're all going to be on that this fall. Y'all remember when the ratings changed the last time? Same thing. We all going to see it soon. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not. I can't speak to it because I ain't got it, but I know this much. If you look at your ratings, like when you first pop up ratings, you got your colors, you got your ratings, you got your fucking on time, you got your AR, all that. But if you click on the customer ratings themselves, it shows you that new screen, don't it? And what does that new screen show you? The actual ratings. How many 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s. But right under that, what we got? We got excluded ratings, do we not? Mine are going through the roof. So I think that they are starting to figure out at some level, on some level, that the drivers are important. It doesn't matter if we're employees or not. Fuck W-2, fuck 1099. Let that shit run for a second. Just open your mind and listen to what I'm saying. If they're excluding, because I just got a 1-star rating, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck, if anything, that's for. I'm over that part of it, because if they're not going to tell us what the rating's for, why should we give a fuck about that 1 star? There's no way to fix it. I can't repeat it. I don't know what to fix. And even in the 5 stars, I can only assume that a 5-star means whatever the fuck I've been doing on a regular means I'm doing it right. A lot of people are happy. Over 4,000 of them in 2 years are happy. So that's the execution I should take on how I do this. Dash. Something I've been doing is correct, but you bust your ass. You bust your own ass. You beat yourself up. Oh, I love those motherfuckers. They're like, man, quit playing. Don't worry about that 1-star rating. Sorry, that's not me. I give a great deal of a fucking goddamn about that 1-star rating. That shit hurts my feelings. I'm a sensitive little bitch. When you 1-star rate a motherfucker and he knows he did everything he could to pull that, he or she pulled everything they could to do that right. And sometimes you just can't fix a problem that ain't got nothing to do with you. Or you make a mistake. Should you take it up the tailpipe of whatever car you're goddamn driving? No. It's like I said this videos ago. When you at work and you fuck up, you get rid of. They tell you why and how to improve them. We'll reevaluate you in 90 days. Reevaluate you in 90 days. The one thing we got from our ratings was 1 star. Look at it. Feel bad. Feel like shit. You fucked up. You're bad. You'd be like, why? What did I do? None of your business. That's exactly what it looks like. That's how it feels. None of your business. So like, wait a minute. How is it none of my business? Because you're not an employee, motherfucker. Shut up. Quit asking questions. Take the fucking head over the head and shut the fuck up. And you say to yourself, well, I guess that's what I need to do since I'm a 1099 is shut the fuck up. Well, shutting the fuck up don't fix the problem. It makes it worse. Shutting the fuck up has always made the problem worse. That's why we live in a society that we do. The people that know what's going on or ask questions get shut the fuck up. The ones that say everything is great and wonderful in the world suck too much dick for me to listen to because they got this in their fucking mouth, and then I gotta listen to them fucking swallow that garbage. As soon as they get a little bit butthurt, they turn into fucking snowflakes. Or they try to cancel us for asking questions and speaking our mind. Hey, there's a problem in the system, and we're speaking up. You need to listen. So I listen to this a lot about whether or not we're employees, whether or not the corporations are fucking us, all that. At the end of the day, I've noticed something. DoorDash removed my contract violation from a simple, honest appeal. Order not correct. Remember that? Because we got this problem with people saying, I didn't get it. It's like, I fucking drove out there for your $3.25 ass. And you're going to tell DoorDash you didn't get it? We've already been through this, haven't we? Some bullshit. I ain't driving nowhere. If I'm going to fucking take the food, I'll be one of these motherfuckers that picks up the bag and unassigns it. I ain't driving all the fucking way at it. 8 goddamn miles for $3.25 to keep my AR up? Just to not deliver it? Well, then why the fuck I drive out there? Shits and giggles? Try to full DoorDash? Been a lot simpler for me. I could use on a sign, I'm eating the food. On a sign, I'm eating the food. I drove out there. I took a picture. I was there long enough to scratch my back and yours. I did something there. Now why in the fuck would I not leave the order there? That was bullshit. They figured that out. Because now we got this that thing that started happening with the fraud about wrong order delivery. Because DoorDash started catching on to it. This customer must sign. See, they've been trying to figure out a way to deal with that shit. I think DoorDash, they deliver a little bit of prop here. Let me tell you why. I have not seen a misdelivered order in a long time. It's probably because I've gotten pretty goddamn good at this. I'm not going to lie. I read that address back out. Not in my head, but my mouth. I want to hear myself say it as I'm looking at the mailbox or walking back and forth from 3 or 4 different houses to make sure that that one with no address matches. 31? 35? The one in the middle without an address is 33. So this shit I do, I talk it out loud till I'm like, 33 right there. That way the fucking neighbors can pull out their guns. It's like, what is this motherfucker with a little red sissy bag doing in my front yard? So I'm like, they're catching on to it. Because I noticed that they removed the contract violation this time with a simple, honest appeal. And then I went from a 5.0 to a 4.96 for a 1-star rating from none of the above. Another goddamn shop and deliver, man! I get so fucked up I just want to punch myself. I'm like, dude, can you not see what's going on? Remember those days when we had the French fries not warm enough, not enough salt on the French fries? The hamburger was made wrong. This was like a year or 2 ago. Everybody was saying, how in the fuck am I getting hit for that? Not to mention it's in a sealed bag, but even if it's an open bag, who gives a fuck? I don't do nothing. I just pick it up. Remember that? Remember them days? They kind of fixed that, didn't they? Well, now they're on to the fact that the shop and delivers are much, much worse. Now we got to deal with this. You're picking up 20 items. 20 items. And sometimes you got to take the last item. And sometimes the last item, I mean the last one that's available of that item, you got to take it. It might be a little kind of fucking questionable in packaging because it was the last one, nobody else wanted it. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Fuck up your goddamn average? It's a completed package. Ain't nobody broke into it. It just don't look that good. It's like, man, I know it. I'd buy it myself. This thing's just been fucking manhandled too many times. That's why I don't finger fuck people's bags, man. If the merchant tells me the shit's correct, I just roll with it. I'm not finger fucking that bag. As far as I'm concerned, that's against my terms of service. I don't finger fuck the customers anything. So I look at that package on the shelf. I'm like, that's the last one. This will be 100% complete. Customer gonna be happy. Every single fucking 1-star rating I get is from Shop and Deliver. Every goddamn one of them. I can prove it. That 1-star rating was removed in 2 days. And sure as shit, that was a goddamn, 3 days. That was a goddamn Friday I did that. And some of them packages, man, they got a little jacked up. I knew the product was good, but the packages were a little jacked. Nothing I could do about it. Sometimes it's the last one on the shelf. Sure as shit, I get my email. Congratulations. You got Dash Now Anytime for 7 days. I don't know why they do that either. I'm a dasher. A top dasher. I got it all month. I don't even need Shop and Deliver, but I happen to enjoy them. That is, of course, until they took away self-checkout. That's another interesting point. I just found out, because it just started popping up after I made my last video about this. Check this out, y'all. This is going to blow your mind. You ready for it? The places where I go to that I'm not allowed to go to self-checkout at, the base pay went up. The ones that I go to that do have self-checkout stayed the same. Don't look at me. I ain't making this up. You guys know me. I thought that was interesting. My Myers orders are really high now. Where they used to be $9, $10, $12, $15, now they're like 18 something. I'm like, okay. You see me, don't you, DoorDash? You see me. I've been trying to tell you. If you want me to do it your policy way, a little compensation goes a long way. I ain't out there to wait in line, brother. I want to make your customer happy. I want to make my customer happy. More importantly, I want to make me happy. As long as I'm waiting in this line, I'm not doing the next order. Not for me, and not for you. There's going to be a customer out there somewhere waiting for a 325 to be delivered for 6 miles and ain't going to get it done because this Top Dasher son of a bitch will do it to keep his Top Dasher status. The legit way, Flex. So here's what I'm getting at. Something just landed on Flex's head. It's called a Torp 101. So what I'm getting at is I don't give a fuck about scams. I don't give a fuck about manipulating the system. None of that shit impresses me. I don't want nothing to do with any of them. I'll tell you why, because it's not long term. None of that shit's long term. What's long term is dealing with the way DoorDash works now. Until it changes, it's long term. I have to deal, that's a man right there. That's a real woman and a real man figuring out some real life problems, some real life issues, trying to make some real money. Do not fuck with a system because you think you're better than it. That system was better than you before you got here. That's why it's got more money than you do. It knows more about it than you do. Don't get all butthurt when somebody says they got a fucking plan. They got this thing that works. That's like watching an infomercial. That is a fucking infomercial is what that is. Look what we can do for you. And then somebody shares like, oh, don't tell them the secret. It's like, dude, if it's a fucking secret, it's bullshit. If it was real, everybody would be able to do it. It would be okay, and it would work. That's real info right there. Not this fucking scam shit. Give a fuck about that. Like I'm so goddamn stupid. I don't know how to use 3 fucking 550 fucking phones on other people's accounts to go make my money. You know why I don't do that? Because it ain't long term. It's a content creator's AdSense way to get his ass paid because he knows he's short term. So as I'm looking at these ratings, yes, that was a pop in that direction. As I'm looking at the ratings, I've noticed they do seem to give a fuck about the drivers. Or at least they're trying to. The drivers are their success story. That is where they make their money, is the drivers. A customer could pay them $200 for a fucking LOP, large order program, catering order. $1,000 for one of those. What the fuck good is it going to do if the customer orders that and there's no one to pick it up? What the fuck good is it going to be if DoorDash exists and the customer don't order? What the fuck is it going to be if all 3 of us aren't here? It looks to me like the fucking system is finally catching up with the fact that we are not employees. We are not fucking W-2s. We're not independent contractors. Hell, nobody knows what the fuck we are. But you know what I think we are? I think we're some motherfuckers out there driving around trying to make some money on our terms. And I'd like those terms to be left alone. So before everybody starts barking about like fucking Prop 22 and fucking barking about rights and fucking OSHA and fucking standards, be careful. I ain't saying you're wrong, but be careful. Because as soon as you get policies put in place and oversight put in place, what happens? It's not just the company that the government's going to start fucking watching. It's going to be you too. You're going to get watched next. And the company's going to start getting more rights to say, you're not an employee, but if we have to do this, you're going to have to do that. You'd be like, what is that? You know what that is? Something that you said, wait, what do you mean I got no choice? So no, you got to take 2 325s an hour now in order to stay on this platform. It wasn't bad enough that they had the fucking completion rate where you got to keep that at a certain number. It wasn't bad. None of these ratings. It's not bad enough you got to keep any of them to a certain point. That's telling you what to do if you want to stay on the platform. But wouldn't it be worse if they said, well, if we're going to do a Prop 22, or if we're going to be forced by law to pay you this much an hour when you're active, If we're going to be forced to do that, then I'm sorry, but we're going to have to force you to take a 325. We're going to have to force you not to sign off in that hour. If we got to pay you for the full hour, you got to work the full hour. If you schedule yourself for 6 hours, you're working the full 6 hours. If you don't, you're getting penalized. Think of the implications that I'm trying to talk about here. Right now, we got a free reign. Our biggest complaint is the tips and the ratings. DoorDash is currently working on the ratings in my market. They keep on excluding the bullshit. They got rid of my fucking contract violation I peeled out, but the ratings are starting to go back up by themselves. They're starting to see the bullshit there because I know that I guess I'm a useful driver for them. I seem to be making some money for them. I seem to be being appreciated for it. I'm like, well, let's have a beer, baby. Now we're talking. A little respect. I don't have to do what you tell me to do. And you sure the fuck ain't going to do what I ask you to do. But a little respect goes a long way. And a little respect makes more money. That's my ever-loving fucking point. A little respect pays the bills. Because the more respect you give your employee or your contractor, the harder they're going to work for you. And that's what the fuck a lot of us have been asking for. If we're going to go out there and get this right, can we not be compensated a little bit? Or at least give us the benefit of the doubt? Fuck the ratings. If it's clear that we're doing a good job, can that not be the point? That we're doing a good job? And what I mean by good job is you're making money, the customer, the honest customers are honestly getting their products. Then when my car breaks down, gas goes up, do I bitch at you, DoorDash? No, I do not. That's my responsibility. That's what I did sign up for. Everything that I'm using is on me. How about this, DoorDash? Everything that reflects my performance is on you. Maybe make it more fair and sensible to me. Let it reflect me a little bit more positively when it's correct. And if I did fuck up, shit, bro, I'd probably even tell you I fucked up. I've done that in past on videos. I made mistakes. My first contract violation was me. Numero uno. Little dyslexia got in the way. Whoops. I wish I could take it back, but here we are. Learning experience, done. I don't do that shit no more. I had to do some fucking eye exercises, brain exercise. I gotta get that shit figured out still. Because I still think I'm on a website that makes sense. You see what I did right there? So I'm like, all right. I think DoorDash does give a shit about the drivers. Or at least they're starting to. Or they're finding a way to do something that they've been wanting to do. They realize that we're a part of the equation. And without us in this equation, they're looking at new drivers on a daily basis, getting rid of the experienced drivers. The experienced drivers are what makes them the big money. The new drivers just get rid of the orders for them, no matter what they pay. That doesn't mean more profit in the next quarter. What that means is you get to have an answer man. We'll get that 225 done now. Why? Because they don't know how to play. They don't understand the system. They don't even know what a fucking top dasher is. They do it because they think they have to. It's a stupid reason to do anything is because you have to. You should be doing it because you want to. And if you want to, you have more fun. And when you have more fun, you're less stressed. And when you're less stressed, you make better decisions. And when you make better decisions, people make more money. If that didn't make any sense to you guys, my apologies. I thought I was talking to some people that don't understand it. And if you did get my message, I'll see you in the next one. Torp out.